Well, as anti-Semitism is spreading in Europe, controversy surrounding the head of Britain's Labour Party and his views is growing. The widow of an Israeli athlete murdered by Palestinian terrorists says Jeremy Corbyn shouldn't have laid a wreath at the grave of her husband's killers and that he should apologize. CBN senior editor John Waggy has that story.
It was an attack that stunned the world. Palestinian terrorists stormed the living quarters of the Israeli team at the 1972 Munich Olympics. In the end, a group calling itself Black September had murdered 11 Israeli athletes and coaches, including Anke Spitzer's husband, Andre. Fast forward to a 2014 photo of British Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn in Tunisia. He's standing at the graves of those terrorists with a wreath in his hands.
Imagine when an Israeli politician would go and put flowers on the graves of those murderers that killed people in London or in England in a terror attack. How would the British people accept that? They would not accept that.
Labeled by many for a long time as an anti-Semite, Corbyn admitted he was at the gravesite.
I was there when the wreaths were laid. That's pretty obvious. There were many others there who were witness to that. I witnessed many other people laying many wreaths.
Did you lay the wreath?
I laid one wreath along with many other people in memory, as I've said, of all those who died.
The photo drew widespread criticism in both the UK and Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu blasted Corbyn. The laying of a wreath by Jeremy Corbyn on the graves of the terrorist who perpetrated the Munich massacre and his comparison of Israel to the Nazis deserves unequivocal condemnation from everyone, left, right, and everything in between. Corbyn fired back in a tweet. Netanyahu's claims about my actions and words are false. What deserves unequivocal condemnation is the killing of over 160 Palestinian protesters in Gaza by Israeli forces since March, including dozens of children. The 1972 Munich Olympics were the first time the Games were held in Germany since they were hosted by Adolf Hitler in 1936.
Israel, which was founded in 1948 as among many things as an attempt for Jews to be able to defend themselves, was once again powerless while Jews were being killed in Germany. The historic resonance of that is clear.
Spitzer said the apology she wants isn't just for her.
He said, I wanted to honor the victims of terror. Where were you? Did you ever come to the graves of my husband or to other terror victims here? We never saw you, Mr. Corbyn.
John Waggy, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thanks, John. Pat, back to you.
It's my understanding that the Israeli Secret Service has gone after some of the perpetrators and taking their lives away from them in retaliation for that terrible massacre. I don't know the extent of it, but I think it's happened. But the idea of paying homage to those perpetrators is just outrageous, and Jeremy Corbyn should know better. Of course, but he's covering it up, and it all sounds it's such high-toned British language. It sounds like, oh, of course, everybody who was doing that, it was just a little gesture. Well, yeah, sure. He should know better, and I think he does know better, and he's probably a noted anti-Semite, and I think our friends in England ought to get rid of him. I mean, the time is going to come. They can't allow people like that to be running their government. John?